Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're setting the stage for a truly cinematic shift in how we think about work, time, and, well, wealth. We're going to unpack the core concepts of Jim Rohn's absolutely incredible philosophy, a framework that literally reframes the entire foundation of success. So if you've ever felt like you're just endlessly trading hours for dollars and hitting a brick wall, get ready. We're about to look at your entire career through a completely different lens. Let's dive right in.
We don't get paid for time. Wow. Just let that sink in for a second, right? It totally shatters this common illusion we all walk around with regarding hourly wages. You hear people say all the time, "Oh, I make $20 an hour." But actually, scratch that. It isn't true. Think about it. If it were true, if you literally got paid just for the passing of time, you could just stay home, kick back on your couch, and have the company mail you a check. But as we all know, they don't do that, do they?
Because here's the ultimate reality. We get paid for value. You don't get paid for the hour itself. You get paid for the value you put into that hour. The hour is really just a tool. It's a measuring stick to gauge the exact value you brought to the marketplace.
Section 1. The 10-Year Blueprint, Designing Your Life. Okay, so how do we do this? It comes down to a deceptively simple two-step formula. Step 1, decide what you want. Step 2, write it all down. When Jim Rohn first learned this and integrated it into his own life at age 25, he said it got him so fired up he could barely sleep at night. It completely, fundamentally changed the trajectory of his life. And listen, step 2 is absolutely critical. You have to think on paper. Rohn uses this fantastic metaphor, and I love this. He says trying to build a good life just out of your head is like trying to build a house out of your head. If you didn't have blueprints and just started randomly nailing boards together from memory, the house would be a complete monstrosity. There's just way too much going on in our minds. You've got to take these ideas out of your head and get them onto paper so you can actually analyze them and, more importantly, go to work on them. So what exactly are we writing down here? Pretty much everything. Make a list of your health goals for the next 10 years, your investment goals, the exact income streams you want flowing towards you. List out the properties you'd like to own, the places around the world you want to visit, and the caliber of people you want to meet. Jot down the specific skills you need to develop, and hey, even the bad habits you want to drop. Write down your goals for benevolence and giving too. And remember, this isn't just some solo mission. If you have a family, sit down with your spouse and ask, what do I want? What do you want? And what do we want together? You can do the exact same thing with your company or organization. It's all about aligning these goals.
Section 2. The Art of Attraction, Becoming Valuable.
We typically think we have to frantically chase down our goals, right? But Rohn contrasts the exhausting act of pursuing success against the incredibly powerful concept of attracting it. Success isn't something you pursue. In fact, what you pursue usually eludes you. It's kind of like chasing a butterfly. You just can't quite catch the thing. Instead, success is something you attract by the person you become.
Which brings us to the absolute heartbeat of this entire philosophy. Seriously, if you take away only one single thing from this explainer, let it be this. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. You don't have to go work on the marketplace. You don't have to try and change your boss. You definitely don't have to manipulate the economy or grab the wind to try and hold it back. You literally just have to work on yourself. It's super fascinating to look at Jim Rohn's own life as an example here. Up until he was 25 years old, he worked incredibly hard on his job. And the result? Well, he made a living. But starting at age 25, he completely shifted his focus. He started working incredibly hard on himself. And the result of that? He made a massive fortune.
Because at the end of the day, like attracts like. If you want high-caliber people and incredible opportunities in your life, you have to match that energy. To attract attractive people, you must be attractive. To attract committed people, you've got to be committed. To attract powerful, healthy, and visionary people, you yourself must be powerful, healthy, and a visionary. You have to go to work on making your language attractive, your appearance attractive, and making your insight incredibly valuable to the marketplace and to everyone around you.
Section 3. Marketplace Reality, Assessing Your Value.
Let's just pause for a second and unpack a real mystery here. Now, obviously, we are all of equal human value. But why on earth would the marketplace pay some people $20 an hour and pay someone else $500 an hour? Is it a typo? A mistake? No way! Evidently, that second person has simply made themselves much more valuable to the marketplace.
Let's scale that up a bit. $200 million. Why would the marketplace ever pay someone $200 million for a single year of work? It sounds totally insane, right? But the answer is actually pretty obvious. If that person helped a company make $5 billion, of course they'd give them $200 million. That individual brought extraordinary, undeniable value to the table.
So, the crucial point here is understanding the stark difference between demanding wealth and performing for wealth. You absolutely cannot get rich by demand. I mean, sure, you can go on strike and demand more money, but honestly, you'll wind up with pennies, maybe a few extra dollars. You get rich by performance, by actually tangibly increasing your value.
Think about a farmer standing out in a field. The soil doesn't respond to need. Imagine him out there shouting, "I need a crop, I'm starving." The soil will just smile and say, "Who is this clown?" The soil doesn't care about your needs. It only responds to seed. It responds to activity, to willingness, and to actual performance.
Section 4. Multiplying value. Exponential growth.
The absolute beauty of this whole concept is that it leaves nobody out. You could walk out of the worst circumstances imaginable, straight out of the ghetto, armed with this philosophy, and change your entire life. But it happens incrementally. It's built step by step, person by person, apple by apple, book by book, class by class, discipline by discipline. It really doesn't matter where you start. You just begin with whatever you have right now and deliberately start working on yourself to become more valuable.
Which leaves us with this final, really provocative thought to consider. Think about the exponential math of your own personal growth. Since we now know that we get paid for value and not for time, is it actually possible to become twice as valuable to the marketplace as you are right now and make twice as much money in the exact same amount of time?
The answer is a resounding yes. Could you become 5 times or even 10 times more valuable? For sure. Your income can multiply infinitely within the exact same hours if you simply dedicate yourself to working harder on yourself than you do on your job. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to really ask yourself, what is the very first seed you're going to plant today?